Welcome to Myton Kids!
Our God is so amazing. His love is never ending. Beyond imagination. He's worth our celebration. He deserves the loudest noise. I don't know about you, but I came here today to celebrate God in every song we sing and every game we play. We celebrate God, always amazing. His love will never end. So everybody in this place, celebrate God.
Hi Mal,
Hi Caroline.
what have you got there?
I've been making my own treasure hunt after watching Andy and Naomi's video last week. It reminded me that being in God's family, in God's kingdom, is as wonderful as finding hidden treasure.
Oh yes, it's worth giving up anything for because God is the real treasure.
Giving up anything,
Yeah, anything.
even your chocolate orange.
Yes, even my chocolate orange.
Nice one. Well, in today's story, we're going to meet a group of people who found it very easy to trust Jesus.
What does trusting somebody mean?
Well, let's see what Juliet and Noah have been up to give us a clue.
Now we're going to play a game. You're blindfolded and I'm going to get you through the messy lane, avoiding all the obstacles.
Okay.
Ready?
Mhm.
Right, go 2 steps forward. Then turn right a teeny weensy bit. Then 1 step forward. Then left 1 step. Forwards 1 step. Turn left a teeny bit. Forwards 1 step. Forwards another step. Forwards another step. Right a step. Forwards 1 step. Forwards another step. Forwards another step. Get the finish! Yay!
In order to get from one end of the room to the other, Noah trusted Juliet as his guide. He depended on her.
That's right. Noah knew that he couldn't do it on his own, so he completely trusted Juliet.
I said that in today's story, we would hear about a group of people who found it easy to trust. And the person they trusted was Jesus. Who do you think these people were? Well, let's listen to today's story and find out.
So if you have your Jesus Storybook Bible ready, today's story can be found on page 256 and it's called The Friend of Little Children. Jesus' friends were arguing. Who is the most important helper in God's kingdom, they wanted to know. I am, James said. No, you're not, said Peter. I am. Nonsense, Matthew said. I'm the cleverest. No, you're not. Yes, I am. Yes, no, am too. And this silliness went on and on like that for some time. You see, Jesus' friends had started thinking that they had to do something to make themselves special to Jesus. That if they were the cleverest or the nicest or something, then Jesus would like them best. But they had forgotten something God had been teaching his people all through the years, that no matter how clever you are, or how good you are, or how rich you are, or how nice you are, or how important you are, none of these things makes any difference. Because God's love is a gift. And as anyone will tell you, the whole thing about a gift is it's free. All you have to do is reach out your hands and take it. So while Jesus' friends were arguing, some people who knew all about getting gifts, in fact, you might say they were gift experts, had come to see Jesus. Who were they? They were little children. Jesus' helpers tried to send them away. Jesus doesn't have time for you. He's too tired. But they were wrong. Jesus always had time for children. Don't ever send them away, Jesus said. Bring the little ones to me. Now, if you had been there, what do you think? Would you have had to line up quietly to see Jesus? Do you think Jesus would have asked you how good you'd been before he'd give you a hug? Would you have had to be on your best behaviour? And would you have had to get dressed up and not speak until you're spoken to? Or would you have done just what these children did? Run straight up to Jesus, let him pick you up in his arms and swing you and kiss you and hug you, and then sit you on his lap and listen to your stories and chats. You see, children loved Jesus, and they knew that they didn't need to do anything special for Jesus to love them. All they needed to do was to run into his arms, and so that's just what they did. Well, after all the laughing and games, Jesus turned to his helpers and said, "No matter how big you grow, never grow up so much that you lose your child's heart, full of trust in God. Be like these children. They are the most important in my kingdom."
Wow, so it was children who trusted Jesus. Children just like you.
Yes, they trusted Jesus and were ready to accept his love as a gift, and they knew they didn't need to do anything special to receive it.
Jesus wanted the disciples to trust him just like the children did.
Let's see how much you remember from the story in another Bible quiz.
Hello and welcome to the Bible quiz. Here I will ask you 8 questions and contestant number 1, Caroline, and contestant number 2, Juliet, have to answer the questions with true or false. Maybe you guys could play along at home too. Here's question 1. The disciples argued about who had the best beard. True or false?
Who had the best beard? Is that what they argued about? I think, have you got yours?
Yep.
I think it's
False.
false.
Yes, you're both right. It's false. Here's question 2. The disciples argued about who was the most important. True or false?
Who was the most important? Okay.
False.
I think it's true. Is it true?
It's true.
Oh.
Here's question 3. The disciples had to do something special for Jesus to love them. True or false?
Have you got it at home? Did the disciples have to do something special for Jesus to love them? Ready?
False.
False.
They're both right. It's false.
Okay.
Question 5 or 4. The disciples understood that God's love is a gift. True or false?
Well, God's love is a gift, but I don't know if the disciples understood it. Okay, ready?
True.
I think false. They didn't understand.
It's false.
Not again.
They didn't understand to start with, did they?
I thought they did.
Here's question 5. Disciple. God's love is a gift. True or false?
Have you got it at home? God's love is a gift.
True.
True.
They're both right. It's true. Here's question 6. The disciples welcomed the children who came to see Jesus. True or false?
Did the disciples welcome the children? Okay.
False.
It's false.
Yep, they didn't welcome the children, did they?
Here's question 7. Jesus always had time for the children. True or false?
You know that one?
I think so.
Here's what these guys think.
True.
They're both right. It's true. Here's the last question, question 8. The children knew they did not have to do anything special for Jesus to love them. True or false?
I think the children knew they didn't have to do anything
Yes,
special.
they did know. That's the end of the Bible quiz for today. Hope you did well at home. I wonder who won in your house. Bye.
How did you do in the quiz at home? Did you get them all right? Some right?
Now, have any of you received a gift recently? I expect not long ago at Christmas you might have received a gift, or maybe a few. Did you get a gift?
Yeah.
Yeah? And did you have to pay for the gift?
No?
No? Did you have to do anything special to get it?
No?
So was it free?
Yeah?
And all you had to do was take it?
Yeah. And unwrap it.
Yeah. And God's love is like that. It's a gift, and we don't need to do anything special to get it. It's free, and all we have to do is take it or receive it.
The children in the story knew they didn't have to do anything special for Jesus to love them. They trusted Jesus, and we can trust Jesus just like they did.
Today we want to share a new memory verse with you, and it goes like this.
Here it is. For it is by grace you have been saved through faith, and this is not from yourselves, it is the gift of God.
Ephesians chapter 2, verse 8.
Grace is another word for gift, and God's gift to us, because he loves us so much, is saving us so we can be friends with him now and live with him forever in heaven. So shall we hear that verse again now?
Okay, so for it is by grace that you have been saved through faith, and this is not from yourselves, it is the gift of God.
Ephesians chapter 2, verse 8. Well, let's have a song now about God's amazing love and his gift of grace, which was Jesus dying on the cross so that we can be friends with God.
And then we're going to do a craft, which you can try at home if you'd like to.